Very well, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to be back. Welcome back to another cast with Trend Following Tyson. This is the mid-January, late January analysis. Let's just take a look at January, see what happened. I'm excited to be back. The best business in the world. That's not up for discussion. I say that because I've ran several different businesses and I still have my hand in business, and I know that this is the best business in the world. Okay, you don't have to go supervise employees, you don't have to write people up, you can make as much money as you limit yourself to, okay, without all the back and forth and the gristle and the digging the trenches and whatever the case may be. Best business in the world. Beautiful January. I don't know what to say. Happy trend following to all my trend followers and swing traders and day traders. What a good time to be a trend follower. What a good time to be a trend follower. From the times that we started taking signals early, I can't remember, sometime in 2018, after that horrible little situation the market had, we started taking signals as soon as stocks started breaking out, and boy, are we reaping what we should be. So let's just re-put everything back in the proper perspective. Make sure that we see what stocks are moving in January. Remember when we get to the end of the year, we always look back and see stocks that as soon as the year started, they showed evidence of them going to have, let's say, a decent year or a bullish year. Prices showed bullish from the very beginning of January. So we'll make sure that we're keeping an eye on what stocks are showing up to prove themselves, to show and prove, and that are going to be bullish, and that we don't want to look back at the end of the year and wish that we would have took longs on. But so let's take a look, man. I got some beautiful stuff here from Livermore. I just didn't pull up anything. I've actually got some we've got some pretty good stuff here on Livermore today, and let's jump into that now so that we can jump into this trend picture. And this is kind of, and anyone that knows me or knows anything about anything, but I take my trading approach, and I kind of use what I've learned from Livermore and Tudor Jones and Tintorelli and Covell and all these guys, Richard Dennis and Eckhart and all these guys put together. I kind of just use the best trend following approach that I can, that fits my trading approach. And Livermore is kind of like one of the godfathers of my trading approach. This is where I get my thinking from. And this is the only way I know how to approach the market. But let's get into the stuff from one of the greatest ever, Jesse Livermore. As long as a stock is acting right and the market is right, do not be in a hurry to take profits. One should never permit speculative ventures to run into investments. Okay, as long as the stock is acting right and the market is right, do not be in a hurry to take profits. One should never permit speculative ventures to run into investments. If your stock's in a trend and it's green from the gate, let it work. That's why anyone that follows my Twitter, when I say let them work, it's just like any other sport dog, any other sporting dog that likes to get out and do his job, that likes to go herd the sheep. All right. I just look at a stock in the same way. It's a good dog. It's going to work. Let it work. And Jesse's saying the same thing. If a stock's in a trend and it's continuing to make higher highs and lows, and we're trend followers, we're in here for the big move, let that stock do what it needs to do. Let it run its course. Okay. That's what Livermore is saying. All right. After spending many years in Wall Street and after making and losing millions of dollars, I want to tell you this. It never was my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting. Got that? My sitting tight. So we're going to sit tight in positions that are green, and they might not be green when we want them to be. They might not double and triple themselves when we say to, but depending on what the market is saying, let these stocks do what they need to do. Don't be in a rush to take profits, okay? Just let these stocks continue to work if you're trend following like I am, okay? Beautiful stuff from Livermore. I don't know what else to really tell you guys. I just think that was really awesome. Man, relentless stuff here. So let's jump into the trend picture. Happy January, happy 2020. All right, you guys, if you didn't have the best 2019, that's and we're all in control of our own universe. If you didn't have the best 2020, the best 2019 that you wanted to, that's totally on you. You can change that now. Let's take the right approach into 2020. First ticker on the list, we're going to go with AMRX. I try to do this alphabetical thing. Remember I told you guys I got long on this thing at 347. So got long on this thing at 347 right in this area, and you see this thing continuing to work up here in 5 at 513. Kind of had a good showing, some decent movement here. Could be breaking out over this level here, 575 anytime. If you don't have to buy that now. If you don't want to, I would buy it now. I don't like chasing stocks. I'm already long in this thing, but you can buy this now and put yourself a stop below here, or you can just buy this thing with the actual breakout here. Man, a lot of room if that thing gets going. AMRX, and I'm long and enjoying that thing. APPS, let's just go ahead and put a quick understanding on this. Okay, so I'm long this thing, and it's not super bullish like other stocks. It's moving rather slowly. We had the last higher high here in December. Okay, at 901, and we just haven't came back. But this is how this trend works. Had a higher high here and just came down, and then made another higher high. It just is how this trend works out. So let's just see what happens here. I wouldn't, as long as we're trading on this trend line area here. See this trend line space. As long as we're trading inside of there, I would stay long. 675 is like, you know, I'm watching what's happening. I might bump half of a portion of my position below 675, but this is definitely in a trend, just basically waiting to make the next higher high. I would just sit tight inside that. Of course, you can look at the chart itself and see that it hasn't doubled. It doesn't, you know, it's not like these supernova stocks. It's just a nice consistent structure and maintaining price. Okay. AQUA, this is the wrong AQUA. Whoa, buddy. What happened there? So let's take a look at AQUA. I'm still long this thing. I'm just showing you this thing because I'm long in here, and I took it over this area here, and we're still in an uptrend. Had this level down here, and I kind of figured that when we hit this, we'd be heading for the next higher high. So that's AQUA looking halfway decent. All right, I'm still long and sitting tight inside that thing. It's not moving very, very rapidly, but you know, it's still in a trend, and that's my job, is to follow these trends. Okay. AVYA, I just saw this thing inside my scans when I just made my list to make sure I bring it to you guys correctly. This thing has some upside to it and could be breaking out over this area here. AVYA. SPCE, I failed on the last show. I had already bought this stock. I just totally failed to, I don't know what I was thinking why I didn't show you guys this, but anyways, I was buying this stock breaking out of this area here, over this area. It's anyone that's on my Twitter seen the post of me following this and trading it, So bought this thing breaking out over here, and just relentlessly bought a call on this thing at 1.43, and to trade to see if it'd get over 1950, and boy, we're way over 1950, and that call I have is out is for February 21st to get to 1950, and I'm already in the money. So I use my same trend following techniques on you know, if I'm going to buy an option on something, I'd use the same trend following techniques, and sometimes it's going to be the same stock that I'm trading or that I've been watching or in my watch list or something to that case. Okay, I'm long SCOR, and you see it poking its head up above this thing here. All right, poking its head up above this area here. 535 is like 525 is like the last high. 535 was the last highest bar that came out of this area here. So if we're at 542, that's another higher high. So that's still bullish. If it sets another higher high in price, it's bullish, especially depicting off the chart. And of course, that's a reversal in price. So I'm long that thing. If this thing even decided to take up some of these prices, I'll sit there all year long, and I'll triple my account. just in that position. So I'm up like 200% on that SPCE thing, that space thing, SpaceX, man. SpaceX something special, and we didn't just bring it to you. You guys are just seeing it on the show, but anyone that follows my Twitter, man, I've been following that thing since it broke out of that last level we just showed. MAXR, course beast mode, some upside up here, just a decent place to be. No brainer there. MAXR. You could take a long on that now, stop yourself out below. Give it some space, 1950. Give it some space. But that's definitely an uptrend. And we'll just bring in this home run thing from last year, just going to show you, just because the stock was in an uptrend last year doesn't mean that when a new year, I guarantee you it won't be an uptrend for the next year. Well, here's a clear uptrend all the way dating back to, what is this, 2019, a clear uptrend. And then here is 2020, and we're still clearly in an uptrend. Matter of fact, we got really green coming into the last days of 2019, coming into 2020. We got really bullish. Remember, this is what I was telling you guys. Watch and see what a stock is doing at the beginning of this part of the year. And if it shows bullish behavior, that's showing you the sentiment for what it's trying to do for that year. It's setting the tone possibly for what is looking forth for that year. And you see very bullish activity in AMD at the very end and the beginning of the year. So new higher highs in that thing for 2020, and obviously that's still a good place to be sitting at. SPY, let's just take a look at this thing, see what's happening here. A lot of stocks tend to follow this sort of structure. I made a lot of money on that some snap calls too last week and this week. Just beautiful stuff following these trends. If I'm gonna buy calls, you guys, I'm gonna buy calls in Snap. I'm gonna buy calls in SPY. I'm gonna buy calls in AMRX. I'm gonna buy calls in the stuff we're looking at, MAXR, AMD, ELP. All these stocks that we're looking at. I'm just not going to buy calls in random stocks because I see people yelling them out on Twitter. I mean, it's nice that, people are saying, hey, these are possible. But if I don't personally understand what's happening with that stock and the movement of it, I'm just not going to be buying anything. SPY making new highs. Okay, this is a no-brainer. SPY making new highs, and we were in an uptrend, but this is my point. See, when we get to these bearish times, when the market gets really crappy, I mean, those are always just buying opportunities. Okay, the stocks are always going to make a new higher high if it's bullish, in my opinion. It may have a few setbacks, but it's overall. Overall, we're in an uptrend. So SPY, a no-brainer, okay? Just a no-brainer. 2020, that's not a bad place. That's not going to be a bad place to sit this year. I guarantee you, let's just put it like this. I guarantee you by the end of 2020, coming into 2021, the price will be over 335 or 350, 340, 345, 350. Is that bullish or not? All right, so we're going from one point to the next. We're still making more money. We're still higher, okay? So I guarantee higher highs in that thing throughout this year, unless we literally go to like World War III, like a real World War III, which is highly unlikely. But okay, so other than that, man, business as usual. Snap made a lot of money on this calls last week. Made some money this week. Just beautiful stuff. Just letting these trends do their thing, man, on both sides. And I was listening to some good traders. I think it was I can't remember who it was. I think it was probably Larry Tintorelli. I was listening to some good audio saying you just can't be, if you're going to be a trend follower, you just can't say, oh, I only like this and I only like that. You have to be able to trade whatever the market is giving you. And you have to be able to trade you have to be able to trade a call, trade an option, trade wheat, trade soil, trade a bearish market, trade a bullish market. At this point, I don't really care if we're in a bullish or a bearish market. I mean, if stocks are going down, I'm buying puts. I'm just following uptrends. Okay, BE looking halfway decent. I would have put BLDPH on this list, but it started to break down. BLDP, I would have put on this list, but it started to break down. So BE looking better than BLDP, but BLDP may set higher highs, but BE just holding its structure. I like a stock to hold its structure and to make sense inside of its chart, for its chart to be kind of cleaned up. This thing could obviously hit these levels and be in the top right by the end of this year. Just keep your eyes on BE. Not a bad place to be, obviously. GTT, I'm long this thing. I'm happy what's going on here. I was watching this thing for a breakout, and I'm long GTT. I just can't recall it right now. I've got so many different positions I've been taking. And you know, I let the winners and losers sort themselves out. So GTT, obviously, prices probably be reversing here. See this level here, boom, 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 developing some structure. The 220 looking like they're possibly getting ready to cross. We got love making going on here in GTT. Just listen to what Livermore said. Sit tight. It makes no sense if I can pick all these stocks and I can't sit tight and actually earn from them. Okay, so sit tight, give that thing some time to work. By the end of 2020, approaching 2021, that thing could be in the top right, guys. Another home run. All right, just solid what we're getting right now. Very solid. I don't know how anybody else's trading process is, but I'm not going to look at a stock like this and watch it go from 0 to 100 the whole year and I've got my thumb in my butt. That's why I'm a trend follower. I'm here for the bigger picture. Okay, I'm here to take exactly what the market's going to offer me. If the market's going to offer me a stock going from 0 to 100, I'm not going to take it nibbles and bits, getting in and out. That's one the ELP, I like ELP long, obviously in a beautiful uptrend. You can take a long on that thing now. Stop yourself out inside this area below 17. There may be an issue, but that's in a beautiful uptrend. That's a no-brainer, okay? Let's look at SBGL for you gold guys. But that's something I saw from Jesse Livermore when I was getting ready to make the show. He was saying it makes no sense for you to get in and out of a stock if you're in a bullish market. You don't buy in and out. If you're going to be bullish on a stock, you buy it and you sit tight. Livermore, one of the best traders of all time. That's not out of my mouth. Jesse Livermore said that. I didn't just make it up. You could go look for the tweet yourself. If you're going to be in a bullish market, you stay long in a bullish market. You don't buy in and out. If you're going to buy something like this, you're going to see a chart like this. When you step back and look at it, you want to be able to say, okay, I entered here at 5 when I noticed a clear uptrend. I entered here at $5 and I sat all the way and I'm still long because we're in the top right. That's how you want to look at a chart. That's when you step back and you're doing good trend following. SBGL looking halfway decent. There's no explanation. If you've been watching my show, you don't need me to start to keep explaining this. So we're long here and we're just going to let this trend work its way out, and the trend line is more or less underneath in this area here. So give it some space. Don't stop yourself out. Don't be too tight inside your positions. You just heard that from Jesse Livermore. We'll take a look at another stock and we'll close out. I'm gonna show you guys IQ and MTSI. I've got more, but we can't be here all night. Beautiful January, beautiful start to the year. I'm going to be firing my boss very soon, okay? I like IQ, could be in the top right very soon. Just take a long, stop yourself out below this area here, 2250, okay? Give yourself some room. And a bigger stock, you can't have a dollar stop. This stock is a $20-something stock. You can't be so tight in it. You got to give it some room to work. You see all this movement in here, but nevertheless, we're still in an uptrend heading to the top right. With this trajectory, all right, at 2 o'clock. IQ, I'll show you guys MTSI and we'll close out, and I'll see you guys early February and we'll take another analysis, okay? Beautiful stuff, you guys. Protect your ass, trade safe, okay? MTSI, look at that top right, easy place to be. We went from inside this area, breaking out over here. This is only way I trade is if we break out of something. If we break out, I'm bullish and we're buying, and that's it. From 20 to 29, we're up in the top right. There's nothing else to discuss there, okay? That's a beautiful place to be. I will see you guys here very soon, mid-February, early February. We'll take the analysis. Protect your ass. Happy trend following. And beautiful, man. This is going to be a great year. You guys stick with me.